Hey, Craig here with Living in Idaho. Today we're going to be walking around, checking out downtown Boise to see if it is going to be a good place for you to live. So I am downtown right now. The Boise River's right behind me and we're going to start walking around. So here we go. So just to give you guys some reference, that's going to be downtown that way. We got the Boise Zoo right over there. This is part of the green belt, the biking path. Boise State University is right across the river. And right now we just did a whole circle. This is going to be one of the main drags that cuts into town. And currently they're doing construction, but I thought I'd take a moment and just start right here under the bridge. I just kind of want to show you guys what you might see if you were to walk around this area. So we got the Boise River down there and a shopping cart and some bags. And then it looks like some sleeping bags. And then if we walk over here, we're going to cut across. So something else that you may have seen down there too is I kind of saw a guy taking a nap under the bridge. Again, you don't always see a ton of that in Boise, but it is here if you look around. You have people who sometimes go camping. So again, downtown in the Capitol building is going to be that direction north, and we're going to kind of weave through here. But first, we're going to cut across. And again, right here, we're on the green belt. If you're curious to know more about the green belt, I did a cycling tour of the Greenbelt in my last video. And I took you guys kind of all around along the river and we saw food trucks and all things like that. So be sure to check that out if you're interested to learn more about the Greenbelt. But ultimately it's a paved and unpaved path that runs all the way from Boise to Lucky Peak, which is behind us, and it goes all the way up to Eagle, Idaho, which is on the other side of the valley here. So we got some construction going on today. And we're also going to be right here next to the library. Also, there's an old train trestle right there that they use as a pathway to get across the river. You'll see that in a couple different ways, that sometimes you can cross on the road, but then other times you can just get dedicated areas like that to cross. And I am literally just trying to find a way to get up into the city, but I just see tons of construction everywhere. So we're just going to keep walking one more and then we'll cut up. But another beautiful day here in Boise. I'll kind of poke over this railing here too so you guys can see what's down there. I got a kid skateboarding. Again, the university is really close to downtown, so it's a very active city, young and old. Guy's kind of looking like the Terminator. Okay, let's go check this out. So this is going to be 9th Street above us. If you were to travel down that road, it would take you all the way to the Boise airport. But again, right, we're in a covered area. I think in a lot of major cities around the US, you would see this place just covered in tents, and you would never come down to something like this. This is going to be the Boise River. Beautiful, beautiful river. Fun to swim in, fun to fish, fun to float. We'll cut back up this way and we'll work our way out. A little bit of trash, but honestly, the river levels are really high. You can kind of see the level the river was right there. You kind of see trails through here. Again, more trails that go all the way back. In fact, let's go check that out real quick. Got a little creek that cuts through here. Looks like somebody's camping right over there. Really pretty area down here though. Okay, let's go jump this handrail up here. So that was a bit of the river. Again, you guys kind of see what that looks like. And a lot of you guys, when you reach out asking about the area, there's often a lot of questions around safety. I think a lot of it stems from the city that you might be moving from, not feeling safe. And hopefully I'm giving you guys an honest view of what it's like here. But now we're kind of moving in away from this, and I'm gonna jaywalk. But we're gonna start making our way up now. We're gonna keep moving closer and closer to the Capitol building. And I might swing over and show you guys a new hotel that came into town. They have a new rooftop patio, and things I think about with that, I think it's called the Renegade. But when a new place like that comes in, it's just fun because one, could be a fun staycation if you guys move here and you want to go downtown, or if you want to go eat, or if you're coming on a scouting trip and you want to stay at a place that's maybe on that nicer end, then that could be a really good option for you too. So that's going to be the Boise Library right there. Lots of apartments and condos downtown. Got some really cool places with some rooftop decks as well. Here we got Goldstein's Bagels. I'm not a huge fan of their bagels. I think there's another place in town, I think it's called Blue Sky, that does a bit better. So if you're into bagels, I think they do a good job. Let's see, so today's Wednesday. It's about 4 p.m. And you'll see we have lots of parking downtown. You got pay for park right here off. You got street parking. Nice thing about the city too is that if you come park here, I'll pull it up and show you on a meter. You can snag 20 minutes of free parking, which I find really nice. So if you got to come downtown for something and you need to park on the street, you can just hit the button, snag 20 for free, go do whatever you need to do, and then you can zip out. You don't got to pay. But the architecture is really cool. You got some brick buildings going on right here. Let's see. Something I learned when I was a firefighter is that a brick wall is structural. It's got I think they call it a King's row. So right here you see these are going long way, and then these are kind of going long way that way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You got a King's row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You got another King's row right there. So it's just fun. Whenever I look at things, I'm just like, is that like structural brick? And that would be. So over there, another good building. That's going to be where Trailhead is located. So Trailhead is a co-working space, one of them in the area. They have a location here where you can snag a desk. They also have a location in one of these buildings over here where you could get maybe an office. You got people that scoot around on scooters around town here. I don't know how I feel about those scooters. You often find them in precarious locations. All right, we're gonna run and catch this light. It's a cute little pocket. It's kind of in between the main roads. You got a main one-way over there that's heading in, and then you got a main one-way to our left that's heading out. So we're kind of in between those two main one-ways right now. We're gonna zigzag up here a little bit because there's some things that I want to show you guys, so we're gonna cut out. I want to show you that hotel that came in, but we're gonna cut through this area too. You're gonna have a handful of food options right in here. Another one too, Slow by Slow. You got a coffee shop right there, so if you're staying downtown somewhere, you might enjoy their coffee if you want to walk over here. There's the warehouse. We'll come back to that. You got P.F. Chang's over there. But I want to go stand on this corner out here and just kind of point at a few things, and we're going to cut back. As you can see, this little strip is kind of unique. They got this outside area, so there's some outside seating right there, like you just saw. There's a place behind me I'll point out. They always kind of have live music, which is really fun. You got a guy on a guitar on the weekends. You'll see a lot of restaurants are going to have mist systems to kind of keep you cool. It's going to be the Treehouse building, just to our left over there. They do a lot with bringing music to the area, put on good events here. Now, I don't know if I'm going to say this right. Yoitomo Sushi? Let's see if I'm saying that right. How do you pronounce the name of this restaurant?
Yoitomo.
Yoitomo?
Yeah.
Okay, I said it right.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it's good.
If you're into sushi, that'd be a place I recommend. It's one of my favorites. I'll often go there with some guys and do the lunch buffet. So this is going to be South Capitol right here. If you were to go, this is a one-way, but if you were to go all the way down that direction, that would take you to the airport. And if you were to go all the way down there, you might have a hard time seeing it, but that's the Capitol building right there. So as we stand on this corner, if you're thinking about coming to Boise and staying, maybe you want to stay downtown, this is going to be the Resident Inn at the Marriott right here. There's some great restaurants that direction. You got Mod Pizza, a great pizza place. You got Trader Joe's right there. A couple different food things in there. And so now we're going to cut back this way. Go ahead and jump across the street. Let's go look at this real quick, actually. We got Tree Fort. Let's see what's on the billboard. Tree Fort Music Hall, upcoming shows. Lords of Acid, Odd Mob, Top House, Pigs on the Wing. Yeah. The Dip. I don't know any of these bands anymore. I'm totally out of it. We got the Bodo Cinema. At a clothing store. We're actually going to dip in here. This is going to be the warehouse. One of the ice cream places around town is going to be called The Still, S-T-I-L. That's one of their locations. And the warehouse is essentially just a group of different restaurants. It's kind of always changing. But we'll cut through here. Oh man, I just got the whiff of waffle cone. It was intense. We got Cafe Dart right there. Looks like we got Baskinese over there. Yeah, Poppy Seed Bakery. See, last time I was here, that was not, I'm forgetting the name, not a sushi bowl, the raw fish. I don't even know what it is right now. What do you call that raw fish, like over a thing of rice? Oh, it's killing me. Let's see, Taco Tuesday here. Living, somebody selling some stuff. You got beers on tap. Rush bowls. Sandwich place. Got Five Guys over there on the left. Let's see. This is a main thoroughfare that's getting people out. So this runs all the way down. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lanes. Runs all the way down, and then there's essentially the freeway entrance up there. And so I don't know if I would have designed a city like this. I understand how they got there. It reminds me a lot of Seattle, or how I-5's cutting right through town. That's going to be the Grove Hotel. That's another spot that you might stay if you come here. You got the Idaho Central Arena. A lot of hockey games there. So often when you have events there, then the warehouse where we just were gets really busy because a lot of people can go for food really quick, which is really nice. At the Idaho Central Arena, so that gal's got a bike. Me and my family bought one of those bikes when we first moved here. I think that's the Rad Wagon, but it is so fun to use a bike like that to get around with kids. But this Idaho Central Arena is great. It has hockey, so if you're into that, you want to go play, then you got that. This is one of the main entrances, so whenever we come to an event here, the lines will kind of fill out right here. But like a comedian came to town, and I've been there for shows, so that's been really fun. So this is like a center courtyard area. Like if we went out that direction right there, we'd get out to the main street. That's the path that we just walked on. So no cars back in here, obviously. You got Buffalo Wild Wings, some other restaurants and things like that. We're going to continue going that way, but first we're going to take a detour left here. But again, you can kind of see the water feature. Pretty fun. I smell chlorine, which is kind of funny. I was told if you smell chlorine, it just means that it's fighting off all the urine. So it kind of confuses me why I'm smelling it at that water feature. Lots of trees around the Treasure Valley too, which is nice because it does get hot here in the summer. So just to educate you guys a little bit, so we're in Boise right now, but then the greater area, we're going to call that the Treasure Valley. And it's not just going to be Boise, it's going to be Boise, Meridian, Eagle, Kuna, Star, Middleton, Caldwell, Nampa. And so you have all these surrounding cities. And the nice thing about that is that a lot of people, when they're moving here, you know, maybe Boise hits their radar. Just like if you're moving to Washington, be like, well, Seattle hits your radar. You move to Colorado, Denver hits your radar. But let's just say you were to move to one of those states, you might not end up in Denver, you might end up in one of the surrounding towns or maybe somewhere else in the state. But it's what attracts you and probably gets you thinking about that area. And so that's the nice thing about the Treasure Valley is a lot of people when they move here, they could move to Boise, but maybe they go to Eagle or another town that fits them at the price point that they're wanting. Maybe they want to get land, maybe they want to live up in the foothills a bit more. And so no matter where you live in the Treasure Valley, you get the benefits of having all of this. But you can be a little further out of town, live in a smaller town. Every town's gonna have a different feel. A lot of them can feel pretty rural. Lots of farming, agricultural still going on. But they all kind of have a different vibe. Some are better for walkability. Maybe some are gonna be better for, you know, new construction with a pool amenity and things like that. So lots of variety. Again, here's the one way. So we're crossing 9th Street right now. And so everybody is heading out of town right now. So it's 4:30, so a lot of people are getting off work, so you can kind of see what traffic looks like. Most people are probably turning a right here to get out to the freeway, to get out of town so they can go back home to, Nampa, Caldwell, Meridian, Cuna, wherever they live. Or people are going straight and, they want to get up to the freeway. They could live in Mountain Home or in Southeast Boise. Let's see. So this is going to be Hotel 43, and then you're going to have Chandler's. And Chandler's is definitely one of our fancier steakhouses. Actually took my wife on, I think it was our anniversary dinner here. I think we were celebrating something, but it was really fun. We came here. I ended up getting a steak that was a, was it a Wagyu, Idaho Wagyu steak? I think they have some connection to some farming outfit here in Idaho, or they're going to be bringing in their own Wagyu. So it's really good, but phenomenal experience. I mean, this is the kind of place where, you got guys on Porsches pulling up, but this is the kind of place, where the waiters make probably a very, very good living. And when we came here, I don't want to go in there. It's a very nice restaurant. But when we came here, they had live music going. Again, Hotel 43. So if you were to stay at the hotel and you like fine dining, you could do that right there. Lots of new construction on this side. You're going to see a mix of buildings kind of getting refurbished. Like even as I look down, it's like, okay, you got some really old buildings down there. This is very, let's say, modern. You got a building right here that is getting worked on. But the sidewalks over here are really nice. This is marked as a bike path. Again, parking, you got concrete roads, you got the Sparrow, another place to stay, you got a food truck right there. That's a hotel. So I'm gonna see if I can get us in there and then get up to that rooftop. So we'll zip up there and then we'll zip back out and head that way again. I essentially wanna get you guys all the way to the Capitol building today. We're gonna cross, make sure we don't get hit. Little touches like this are nice, you got the planters, they're trying to grow some things. The Sparrow. This could be a nice area to stay too. Form and Function, another one of our coffee shops here.
How are you?
Let's get a nice mocha.
Nice mocha.
Mm-hmm.
To go?
Yeah. How long have you guys been here? Is this fairly new right in here?
Almost a year, late last July, apparently.
Okay. How's it been going? I like all the light you guys get in. The other place is always kind of dark.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's definitely getting busier. People are becoming more aware that we're here.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Thanks.
I like it. It's a bit slow in the evening.
I could imagine.
People are going to start coming in for the wine selection, and we got some good beers on tap.
Oh, so you guys more kind of coffee hybrid, wine, beer in the evenings kind of thing? That's smart. What is the Sparrow? Is that just like a kind of motel? Hotel? Okay.
I don't know if you consider it a hotel or a motel.
Yeah, I don't know. I always thought motel like door. It kind of looks motel-y, but maybe it's not. I'm curious. I'm gonna go look at that. I'll be right back. Yeah, let's see, I'll ask him about rooms. I've always walked by this place, but I never came in. So I'll ask him about rooms. Maybe this is a good place. Could be central if you guys are wanting to get a feel for downtown. Yeah, I just had a question. I've never been in here, and I was just curious to learn more about your guys' place.
Yeah, so the Sparrow is, we've been open for a year, basically. last year in July, we fully opened up, remodeled. It used to be the old Safari Inn,
Okay.
which has been around for a very long time.
Yeah.
The property stood 52 plus years. And so we have 3 queen rooms upstairs that don't have elevator access. They are always a little cheaper due to that.
Like directly
circumstance.
above us here?
Yep,
So you
direct-
go up the stairs?
Yes,
Okay,
correct.
cool.
Yep. So just smaller in size, and since there's no access, they're always a little cheaper in price.
Yeah.
And then the separate entrance is going to be all the rest of our 64 rooms.
How
So,
big are the rooms?
pretty spacious, I'd
Okay.
say. Yeah.
And then how much for, you guys offer kind of parking, on-site parking? Is that an additional fee?
Yes. So $15 for each night.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
And then I see you guys got coffee.
Yep.
And then what's the place, the Airstream?
So that is Crisp Boise. They actually did just close, but they are local seasonal farms table type
Okay.
ingredients.
Like closed for the day, but
yes.
still out. Okay, great.
Yeah,
cool.
9 to 4. They'll be back open tomorrow, 9 to 4.
Okay.
But they do anything from like a cheeseburger pho to pasta to like a birria quesadilla.
Okay.
They do brunch as well, so you can get a breakfast
So,
burrito at 4 p.m. if
Actually,
you
your
want.
wife
Yeah.
But
will
it's
receive
owned
our
by
welcome
a
message. She
local
probably
husband and
already
wife.
has.
Okay.
And
It does
they
have
switch
hotel
out the menu with
information,
what kind of
but you
ingredients
can
are
always call or
going
text
through
us. The
Boise at
numbers
the
are
time,
here.
Okay.
season wise.
Awesome.
And then
Well, that's great. Well, I'll look you guys up
we're
online.
open
I
24
appreciate it.
hours.
No problem.
Thanks for the coffee.
Thanks for stopping by.
So this is some of the outside seating here. Chris, that was what I was just talking to that gal about. But nice shade out here. These are some of the rooms. So hopefully you heard her. She kind of said some less expensive rooms are going to be located above this space without access via an elevator. But nice little courtyard. Also, I remembered what it was. It was a poke bowl. Poke. Rice with fish on it. Okay, let's go jump over there. Hotel Renegade, the Highlander rooftop bar and lounge.
I knew the key. I
I
knew the
guess.
key was right here, so I was like, just stare.
No, did we not?
Pardon me?
Oh, there we go. I sit on the bank. Well,
If I was your wife,
no, it's not. I think it's not that. It's that.
So in addition to that rooftop bar, you're also going to have some Baraboo. This is going to be the Baraboo restaurant. They're closed right now, but hopefully you guys can see that. All right. Got blue collar coffee attached to the same building right there. But again, I love all the architecture they have back here in the buildings. Granted, some buildings, are getting built up like that one, but then you got nice old buildings here. You got the Hawaii Tavern, going to be steak and seafood right there. A little bit of trash. Lots of nice outdoor seating out here. Got a shoe store. Got the Danskos. My wife was a nurse and still is a licensed nurse. Nice thing about Idaho is that, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I'm pretty sure she is able to keep her nursing license here. She doesn't have to do continuing work experience. She chewed on that for a little while, and we would go take the kids to like camps, and she'd be the camp nurse. But in Idaho, they changed it so that she can keep her license without having to keep up hourly stuff each year. So maybe that's good, maybe that's bad. But I always know nurses love those Danskos. Got Sid's Garage. Again, that's Hotel 43 over there. That's Chandler's. That's the restaurant we already looked at. And so now we're just kind of one street up from that. We're going to cut back kind of into the heart of town, and then we'll hang a left. I'll show you where a lot of the restaurants are, and then we'll finish the Capitol building. So let's see, we got Charles Schwab right there. We got Zion Bank. That's a big Zion Bank building right there.
You can say something.
And we got Kick Dining. I still have yet to eat down there. It's kind of sunken down there. A good friend of mine, Will, who they now live in Central Oregon, he owned a catering business over there. He's owned two now, but he told me about Kick. He's like, I want to go do Kick next time I'm in town. So I said, okay. If your catering friend is telling you he wants to go to a restaurant, then it must be good. You guys are really helping me get my steps in today, so thank you for that. I saw a friend who's down quite a bit of weight was talking about how he had a goal for X amount of steps. So he ate more protein, started exercising, then he had a goal to hit a certain amount of steps each day. It's just been getting me thinking maybe I need to do more walking videos for you guys. So here we got some public transportation. Big hub right here where people are stopping, getting on their stuff. Let's ride Boise. So just to give you guys some bearings, Dutch Bros Coffee's right there, Costa Vida. But down there, that is the water feature that we talked about. That's the arena where Idaho Steelheads play, the hockey team. So we were there and we went that way. We went all the way around and then we came back on this street. And now we're gonna head right through here and then we're gonna cut over to the Capitol building. So they shut these streets down and blocked them off to pedestrian traffic, which is really nice. Lots of restaurants, especially on that next one up. But so you got Tupelo Honey up there. That was a restaurant that we had never done prior to coming to Boise. More southern in style. You have Ruth Chris Steakhouse right there. Another restaurant, Fork. One of my favorite restaurants that is definitely the hands down go-to for me and my wife on date night is Alavita. Alavita's just down there. If you've watched any of my videos, that is not new news to you. But great calamari, great Italian. So again, you're gonna get a lot more restaurants kind of socked into this area as well. Diablo and Sons. Eureka, you got some pizza place. You got the Matador back there, that might be familiar to you. Now this is called Freak Alley. If you look up, you know, top 10 things to do in the Boise area, this will probably be on that quintessential short list, but just an alley with tons of graffiti on it, as you can see from the walls there. Let's cut out this way. But if you're thinking about getting moved here, reach out. Call, text, or email, days, nights, or weekends. I'm also a licensed real estate agent with a great team. We help people get moved here every week. And a big part of that is helping people on scouting trips. So reach out, we can help. It doesn't cost you anything. Also, that's a speakeasy. Have yet to be in there, but it's kind of one of those secret, you know, I don't know, you got to do a special knock or something. You got St. Lawrence Gridiron right here, kind of tucked away off the beaten path, a little quieter back here. Boise's a really bikeable city too. Hopefully you guys are picking that up, but there's gonna be bikes everywhere. When me and my family relocated here, a couple things we were looking for kind of in a city, and what ultimately made it really good for us was bikeability. That wasn't super high on the list, but it was something I'm like, oh, I'd love to be able to get around and not have to rely on a car so much. So Boise's totally been that for us. And depending on where you live, it could be great for you. So like, for example, things I think about is as my kids get older, I want them to be comfortable riding around and having access to things to get to friends' houses or to go to a job before they have a car or find ways to make money. And I just don't want them to be super reliant on us in that way. Other things we were looking for in a city was safety. And again, I think Boise really hits the head on that. It's going to be the Capitol building right there. Really beautiful out here too. Got the statues, got a Lincoln statue right there. Again, as we look back, right, this is going to be Capitol Boulevard. If you remember, the sushi place is right off this, Trader Joe's is right off this. And again, if you were to go backwards on that one way, you'd essentially run straight into the airport. But going back, some things that we were looking for in a city was safety, affordability, right? Depending on who you talk to, Boise is really affordable or not affordable. Lots of sunshine, 4 seasons is really nice. A redder state. My wife's originally from Idaho, and we met in Seattle, got married, and then from there moved to Oregon, started our family, and then Oregon kind of took a turn that we weren't super happy with, and it wasn't really a good fit for us anymore. And you really start to change your thinking when you have kids and what you want from a city and what you want for them. So Idaho's been a really good fit for us for that. Another thing too, I was just talking to somebody today where they're talking about moving over from Washington, and one of the reasons that Idaho is a good fit for them, or I should say could potentially be a good fit for them, is that it keeps them close to family. So they still have a lot of family in Washington, and they're like, oh, you know, they were looking at, they mentioned Texas, and it was like, yeah, if you go to Texas, you're gonna be pretty far away. So that was also something we were considering too. My wife's folks are still up in northern Idaho, and my mom just moved here like 2-3 weeks ago, but my father's still in Washington, so we head back there to see him. It's nice to be able to drive. If you're curious to know more about Boise, watch that pros and cons video, or watch this other video to learn more about the area. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.